What if I told you the most exciting sophomore in women's college hoops wasn't the freshman who averaged the most points, but the one who barely played 20 minutes a night and still looked like a future All-American? Blanca Quiñonez averaged 10.7 points, shot 53.6% from the field, nearly 40% from three, grabbed steals like she knew the playbook before the other team ran it. And she did all of this as a freshman on UConn. So here's the question, is Blanca just another great Husky, or are we watching the start of the next international takeover?
Prime Field!
Welcome back to Prime Field. Today we're breaking down 5 reasons Blanca Quiñonez might be the most dangerous sophomore prospect heading into 2026 to 27. Not most hyped, not most obvious, most exciting. We're talking professional background, Big East dominance, elite efficiency, defensive chaos, and that March gene, the one that separates highlight players from winning players. And by the end, I'm giving you my prediction. All Big East lock, All-American sleeper, or full-on UConn superstar. But first, we have to start with the thing that makes Blanca different from almost every other sophomore in America. Blanca Quiñonez is the first UConn player ever from Ecuador and South America. That alone is historic, but the real story is what happened before Stores. She played professionally in Italy's Serie A1 and with Magnolia Basket Campobasso, competing against grown pros from the age of 14. So while most freshmen are adjusting to college speed, weight rooms, scouting reports, and the physicality of the game, Blanca had already been living in that world. That explains why her game never felt rushed. She cuts like she understands spacing. She drives like she's seen every help defender before. She doesn't just play fast, she changes pace. And Geno Auriemma basically said the quiet part out loud. She plays like someone who has already played a lot of basketball at a higher level. That's not a compliment coaches hand out casually. That's code for, this kid is ahead of schedule. And the numbers? Yeah, they back it up. Blanca didn't just have promising flashes. She stacked real hardware. Big East Freshman of the Year, Big East 6th Woman of the Year, 7-time Big East Freshman of the Week, All Big East Second Team, Big East All-Freshman Team. That is not nice bench piece territory. That is, the league had to acknowledge her even on a loaded UConn roster territory. She finished as UConn's third leading scorer at 10.7 points per game, with 3.1 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 2 steals in only 20.4 minutes a night. Now here's where the debate starts. Some fans will say, well, she wasn't carrying the offense like Aaliyah Chavez or Jazzy Davidson. Fair. Those players had bigger roles and bigger raw scoring numbers, but Blanca's case is different. She was producing inside a championship-level rotation with veteran All-Americans around her and still found a way to pop every single week. That means her sophomore leap isn't based on imagination. It's based on opportunity. If her minutes jump from 20 to 30 plus, we're not asking whether she can play. We're asking how loud the breakout is going to be. Let's talk shooting. Blanca shot 53.6% from the field, 39.5% from 3, 75% from the line. Effective field goal percentage, 60.5%. For a guard-wing hybrid, that is absurd. Aaliyah Chavez, 37.6% from the field. Jazzy Davidson, 40% from the field. Blanca Quiñonez, 53.6% from the field. Now, context matters. Chavez and Davidson had heavier usage. They were asked to create more. But that's also the point. Blanca wasn't forcing anything. Her shot diet was clean, her reads were sharp, and when UConn needed a bucket, she didn't play like a freshman hoping the shot went in. She played like a pro expecting it to. The scary part is she's not just a spot-up shooter. She can shoot the three, attack closeouts, finish through contact, and make the next pass. That makes her a nightmare in UConn's offense because you can't hide a defender on her. Close out too hard? She's at the rim. Sag off? She's shooting almost 40% from 3. Send help? She can pass. That's 3-level scoring with discipline. But the reason I'm higher on Blanca than almost every sophomore prospect? The offense is only half the argument. Blanca had 63 steals in 31 appearances. That's 2 steals per game, and she did it in barely over 20 minutes a night. UConn had the nation's top-ranked scoring defense in the research, allowing just 50.4 points per game, and Blanca was not some passenger in that system. She was one of the engines. She has quick hands, strong anticipation, and that annoying defender quality where she's never exactly where the offense wants her to be. She pressures the ball, jumps passing lanes, recovers, rebounds, and then turns defense into instant transition. AZ Fudd described it perfectly. When Blanca came off the bench, it felt like the game jumped to another level. That's not just scoring spark. That's energy, disruption, and momentum. And this is where the All-American conversation gets real. Plenty of sophomores can score 17 a game if you give them enough shots. But can they score efficiently, defend the best perimeter players, create turnovers, and fit it into a winning system? That's the difference between a bucket getter and a championship player. Every prospect video eventually gets to the same question: what happens when the lights get hot? For Blanca, we already have evidence. Sweet 16 against North Carolina, 16 points. Elite 8 against Notre Dame, 20 points on 7 of 11 shooting, including 4 threes. Fort Worth Regional All-Region team. That matters because March exposes players. The pace changes. The scouting gets sharper. Every possession feels heavier. And Blanca didn't shrink. She got louder. Geno connected that to her European knockout game background, and it makes total sense. International basketball teaches you early that one bad quarter can end your season. So when the NCAA tournament pressure arrived, Blanca wasn't learning pressure. She was recognizing it. That's why the pro advantage debate that is so interesting. Is it unfair to compare her to normal freshmen when she had years of pro experience? Maybe. But college basketball doesn't hand out discounts for being less prepared. If Blanca's background makes her more ready, that's part of the evaluation. So, what does the leap actually look like? If Blanca moves into a starting role and plays around 30 to 32 minutes per game, I think 16 to 18 points per game is absolutely on the table. Add 5 rebounds, 3+ assists, and around 2 steals a night, and suddenly we're not talking about exciting sophomore. We're talking Big East Player of the Year race. Now here's the one concern. More minutes means more defensive attention. More touches means tougher shots. And going from elite 6th woman to primary star is a different job. It's not just do the same thing more. It's handling scouting reports designed to stop you. But Blanca's advantage is that her game is not built on one trick. She can shoot, defend, pass, and win possessions without needing the ball every time. That's why I'm buying the leap. The wild part? Blanca may not even need to be UConn's #1 option to become one of the most valuable players in the country. If Sarah Strong is the centerpiece, Blanca can be the connector who makes everything terrifying, the defender who flips games, the shooter who punishes help, the secondary creator who becomes a star before fans even realize the takeover happened. So here's my prediction. Blanca Quiñonez becomes an all-Big East first-team player, a national All-American candidate, and the most debated sophomore in women's college basketball by February. Not because she has the loudest hype, because the film, the efficiency, the defense, the resume, and the March performances are all pointing in the same direction. The freshman year was the spark. The sophomore year might be the fire. Now I want your take. Is Blanca Quiñonez the most exciting sophomore prospect for 2026 to 27? Or are you taking Aaliyah Chavez, Jazzy Davidson, or someone else? Drop your pick in the comments, subscribe to Prime Field for more women's hoops breakdowns, and vote in the poll before you go.
Prime Field.